Can you diagnose your business as being depressed? Well, stay tuned because I want to actually share with you a couple of symptoms that you may be facing if your business is depressed. Who am I? My name is Tim Manning, and like I said, I wanted to share with you a couple of symptoms that you may have if your business is depressed. I know you're probably thinking, can a business be depressed? Well, technically, no. But if you're watching this video, more than likely you're the owner, right? So, where did I come up with this term? Well, I was watching a show, and for trademark reasons, I'm not going to mention the TV show, and it was a business show that was talking about restaurants, and the tagline was for their commercial was, if you have a failing restaurant, call XYZ, or call this number, or go to this website. So, and obviously those business owners that had failing restaurants, they called or they went to the website. So I was watching this particular show, and the guy just goes through his process of trying to transform this restaurant for this business owner, and he went through a process that I thought was pretty clever, and hopefully it worked long term, but I'm not sure. But the immediate the result that happened over a few days was pretty interesting. So I wanted to talk about two things. One is, if your business is depressed, more than likely, and this is not always the case, you have experienced some type of revenue for the first year or two, and that revenue has been in decline mode ever since, or it never really got back to where it was when you initially opened, right? So the revenue is declining, or you are losing money on a monthly or yearly basis. That's number one. That's the external symptom. Now, the internal symptom is you don't necessarily have hope, right? Hope that your business will get back to where it is, or where it was, or where you would like it to be, right? So one is internal, one is external. The most important one is the internal, and a lot of people don't really want to discuss the internal aspect of it because they think it's this is they blame it on external, and the external is what you see, like the you're losing revenue, right? Nobody's coming to your store or your restaurant, right? They look at those things, but they fail to realize that a lady once told me a business is like a living thing, right? You have to get it to where it's sustainable, it can operate on its own, but it does have what I call DNA of its parent, right? Just like a child has the DNA of its parent, a business has the DNA of its parent, right? So you can't necessarily disassociate the internal mechanism of a business from its parent. So depending on how you are emotionally and mentally will kind of dictate how the business operates, right? Depending on what stage you're in, right? So, and one of the things this lady did on this show was that she was blaming a lot of the issues that the business was having on external things as opposed to herself. Like she was blaming, the employees for how they perform. Yeah, they have a responsibility, but it's under your leadership, right? It was under her leadership. So at the end of the day, if it's your business, you have responsibility on how your business not only performs, but what state the business is in, right? So I have a link in the description on how you can really get your business back, or really start off. If you're starting, start off right in your business, especially if you are not necessarily sure on how you can get back to where you were, or you're not necessarily sure on how you can start successful and remain successful, because many people fail to realize that business does have cycles, right? They do have stages, and you have to make sure you're able to adapt throughout all of those stages. But most importantly, making sure that you've taken responsibility throughout all of those stages. Not blaming another business that may open right down the street from you, that's selling a similar or a different product, or whatever the case may be. Some business owners blame the economy for not being successful. Those things are external, and it's really a result of not just you not taking control or responsibility for the business, but more so of maybe the lack of the emotional attitude that you need to have in order to give your business the emotional support that you need, right? Because business is not all about strategy, even though strategy is important. But you have to have some type of emotional affinity toward your business that will really allow it to thrive like a real human being, right? So click the link in the description if you want to know more on how you can really make sure your dream is not a nightmare. Make sure your business is not a nightmare, but something that you never imagined on from a success perspective. Now, I can't promise you a particular type of monthly income because I don't know who you are. I don't know what your capabilities are, but I can say that if you go through this process with me, you will be able to number one, make sure you have the necessary capabilities of having a business that has a net profits that's satisfying to you, and number two is that it's something that you won't be creating or doing by default, right? Success is not default. There is a system, there's a formula for success, just like the laws of gravity. Gravity is guaranteed to work, and I want to help you make sure that your dream is guaranteed to come to pass. Click the link somewhere down in the description, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Peace.